Hello everyone, this is Stuart Power from Coliance. Coliance are a gold partner of IBM's. We've been a partner for about 15 years now. We've been in business nearly 25 years. I'm the Sales and Revenue Director, and today we're creating a format called Coliance Connect, which is a webinar or podcast format to keep you informed of what's happening in the world of automation integration, and in particular what we're doing with our partner IBM. So with that, I have the pleasure today to introduce two of the guest speakers. So firstly, we have Yusuf Baderi, who is the Client Solution Professional. And we also have Pham, who's the Senior Solutions Technical Architect for WebMethods, which is part of the conversation today. With that, I'm going to look at some of the questions that our customers have been asking us, and I thought it would be good just to have a discussion around that. But just before I do so, perhaps, guys, you just want to take 30 seconds just to introduce yourselves.
Yusuf, can you go first?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Yusuf Baderi. I'm a client solution professional working in the IBM integration portfolio. So I've been working in this space for almost 25 years now, covering everything from IBM Transformation Extender, the Sterling solution set, and any of the Cloud Pak integration solutions as well. Is that 30 seconds?
And my name is Pham. So I am the Senior Solutions Architect, and I come from WebMethods in itself. In fact, I came from WebMethod Inc. 25 years ago. So, it's been my family, it's been in my blood. And now that, we are IBM, I'm still here representing WebMethod.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. And clearly lots of expertise on this session today. Looking at the questions that our customers were asking us, the first one was, how do hybrid integration platform affect existing customers? Obviously, there's a lot of people out there that have invested over the last 10, 15, 20 years in some cases on different integration technologies, and obviously IBM have a plethora of integration technologies across a wide portfolio, including now WebMethods. Guys, could you just give the customers and the people out there kind of an idea of what effect that may have, how they're potentially going to integrate and work in the future?
Yeah.
Sure. Shall I start? Do you want to take it?
You start. Yeah.
So with the acquisition of WebMethods and the hybrid integration portfolio, I think we're going to be enhancing and expanding the integration capabilities and possibilities that customers can acquire and leverage very, very quickly. The intention is to kind of take the best of kind of all the solutions and bring them to bear and kind of cross-pollinate as much as we can between the different solutions to give you kind of the best capabilities around API integration, managed file transfer, B2B, application integration, and events-based architectures and automation. So we're trying to take the best of each of the solutions, bring them together, and there is a story and a roadmap around convergence where these are coming through with like the design studios, the runtimes, and so on. But you'll see that evolve over time, right? So it's not going to happen overnight, like magically, but we are going to be moving in that way. And I think that the starting point is really going to be around the control plane, the hybrid control plane, where whether you've got solutions deployed on cloud, like iPaaS, or on-prem, you'll have one dashboard to be able to go in and see and potentially manage and monitor the different solutions from the wider portfolio. So that is going to be a journey over time. We're seeing some of that and realizing some of that and actualizing some of that right now. And you'll see more and more come through over the next half year, next year, and so on as we move forward. Anything to add?
You know what? Totally. As IBM acquired the WebMethods integration platform, no one gets left behind, right? Both, if you think about the customer base, there are, customers of WebMethods, and there's customers of all the IBM product sets. As we merge, as we converge, the message is you don't need to upgrade, you don't need to migrate. Capabilities coming into the platform itself will be, available for everybody, and that's the strong message coming out of it. Shall I share my screen? Is that probably?
Yeah, if you got a couple of slides to present,
I've got a couple of slides.
Might be interesting. Yeah.
So let me share my screen. So there's a bit of a disclaimer that where we are. If we roll back slightly to where the evolutions of where we are at the moment, right? Everybody's come across the old integration, back in 2000. Then the ESB came along, and then we have REST API, and we're now at the stage where hybrid integration and AI powered and API driven is it. And this is what I mean in terms of no one gets left behind, right? If you look at the outer circle, it's an experience of everybody. If you want to do API integration, it's API experience, and both API Connect and the WebMethod API Gateway are available to all customers. So if you're an API Connect customer, you continue as is, right? Same as integration experience, API Connect, App Connect, WebMethod integration. B2B experience, same exactly again, right? We have B2B WebMethod. We also have Sterling B2B. No one needs to migrate, and we don't expect no one to migrate. In fact, the word migrate doesn't exist, right? We laugh, but right now, all customers continue as they are, and they are fully supported as they are, right? I mean, Sterling, for example, has a B2B van, which WebMethod B2B doesn't have.
Yeah, so you're going to tap into that, utilize that for those use cases. Yeah.
But then WebMethod B2B exists in the SaaS format. So if you want to use SaaS and get onto SaaS, use that one. So
obviously it's all about choice, and it's all about kind of what fits the dynamic at the time and in the use case. But obviously, customers are going to look at investments they've made, and where some customers are kind of, we've had this for a long time and we rely on it and we're not going to change. There'll be other customers that are kind of, we've had this for a long time, maybe we do need to change, and maybe we do need to futurize and do need to modernize rather than migrate. When they come to us as partners and they want our trusted opinion, as you've already said, we look at each use case uniquely and kind of try and understand the challenge and kind of where's the benefits going to lie and where the recommendations are. I guess for you guys that's exactly the same in terms of how you're going to deal with each and every customer uniquely with their opportunity.
Absolutely right. And we've had this recently where if you think of integration tooling as, if you do DIY at home and you've got your toolbox with your hammers and your screwdrivers and the drill bits and all of that, use the right tool for the right job in the right scenario, right? Yeah. So what we're trying to offer here is more choices to the customer in the way they consume integration middleware services, whether it's on-prem, whether it's in the cloud, whether it's containerized or traditionally installed, whether it's self-hosted, a managed service, or anywhere in that spectrum. The customer can pick their sweet spot for what they want to do in the, I'm pointing at the slide here, in the kind of the radial slide, decide what they want to manage and what they don't want to manage, how much they want to utilize of each piece, and use the right tooling in the right way, and obviously contain the costs in that way. The worst thing you can do is use the wrong tool to do a job that's outside of its kind of comfort zone, which ends up being very, very costly, especially on like the people service support management side of things, because you're always trying to fill in the gaps. So we're hopefully creating a better experience as part of this journey to our customers. That means that they can acquire what they need when they need it, use it at the right size, deploy the right size solution, and take that forward. It does make it a bit more interesting for us. There's a lot of choice, and we quickly, as part of our conversations with customers distill down into, well, based on your requirements, these are our recommendations, use this, this, and this, and then go forward from there. The good news is there's a lot of integration available today out of the box, but you'll see that improve as time goes on and as the roadmaps evolve and develop and deliver against our plans.
Okay, and look, let's be honest, obviously since the acquisition last year, you've no doubt both been dealing with lots of your existing skill set customers. Obviously we're hearing certain kind of understanding of the vision that you're talking about. What are you specifically hearing, in terms of customers? Are they delighted by this option, this choice? Are they, oh, that's interesting, but for now we're, heads down, focused on what we've got, but nice to know for the future?
So, I mean, I can speak quickly before, I hand over to Yusuf. So, one of my customer who is a long-term customer, when the acquisition news was announced, it was dread. It was, oh no, it was, oh my God, they're going to destroy the ecosystem. The WebMethods is going to be no more. And they've been a user of the WebMethod for, we're looking at 10, 15 years, that sort of thing. So they are a really old customer. But once they've realized that, the acquisitions happened and we announced our roadmap, what was going to happen, in fact, it was delight, right?
Okay.
Both, WebMethod, continues almost as a North Star, as a, in terms of where IBM is, right? Bringing that. And then also not losing the current customer of IBM, right? We understand totally. In fact, my customer actually uses both, right? They had MQ, they've got WebMethod, Universal Method. They use both, right? They have a massive mainframe, IBM, right? So I think it's a great acquisition from my perspective. What do you think, Yusuf?
I'd agree. I mean, we had a customer we were working with on a project trying to map through a migration out of a couple of their data centers and moving to cloud. So they were completely moving to cloud, and they were kind of a long time customer, probably 15 years thereabouts, and we didn't offer a kind of an iPaaS or fully managed SaaS, not a fully managed, but we didn't offer a platform as a service B2B solution for them that fit their requirements. And when WebMethods came along, that suddenly just opened up the whole conversation. We continue to use the Sterling portfolio in that respect, the Sterling B2B portfolio, but now enhanced with additional WebMethods capabilities in the cloud and helping drive that evolution on their side as we move forward. So it's allowed us to address more use cases with the customers and tick more boxes and actually relieve some pain as well, in that they're thinking, how am I going to do this? There's a lot of things to move. Actually, I can do this a lot better. I can pick and choose the right bits in the right place and tick the boxes and deliver on kind of our commitments to the business and take that forward. So I think it's been received positively so far. That's certainly kind of what we've had with our customers and the conversation we've had, and kind of you've teed me into my next question really, which is the conversations we're having with the customers, that they've been very interested. I was going to say excited, but I'll dial that down a little bit. They've been very interested with the kind of future towards and kind of what WebMethods allows in terms of iPaaS. So I'd like to pick up on that in terms of that kind of journey and kind of how that's going to take, what it looks like, but also what, again, we're really excited by, and we're seeing it more and more across the IBM product stack, is the kind of journey towards agentic AI and AI enabling some of the power behind automation and integration. So that's kind of really on to my next question, kind of where does that go? And look, he's teeing up nicely with a t-shirt, but
so if you look back in history, right, the old enterprise were non-AI, and it was quite, there was agility there in the old enterprise in what they're demanding, right? The traditional iPaaS that you find were quite, in fact, our competitors right out there, they're quite rigid. You just go, A to B, and there's static workflow, and there's just pre-built connectors, right? But what we're now bringing is this full hybrid integration, AI powered, right? And actually API driven. And what does it mean, right? AI agents now do the work for you, right? In the past, we talk about AI assistants.
Helping.
Now we talk about AI agents, right? And in a minute there'll be I guess a competition to see what's an agent and what's an assistant, right? It means that it now generates integration for you, right? That's dynamic, real time. Yeah, and that's what it really means now for what we see in integration.
And were WebMethods already on that path to them?
We before the acquisitions of IBM, we were already on the path of implementing AI, but it's more an assistant. It's more questions, and you do, and then it does. It's more you having to guide it more, but it starts to assist you, thinking about, this might be a good mapping for you. Do you think that's correct? Right.
Yeah.
And we can't marry that into, I think the marriage of IBM, and especially with the, IBM AI, Watson, and so on, you cannot be more suited, right?
Yeah.
It's more about things like with the agent, it's there to amplify what the integration specialist can do, right? So we know what we want to have happen. We can ask the AI agent to quickly build an integration for us, test it for us, onboard a new partner, for example, that kind of thing, rather than the older kind of more chatbot-y, tell me something about this and I'll give you a summary, which is like a chat GPT style, give me a summary of documentation or a how-to of how to do something. This is more, I'm trying to achieve something. There may be a bit more significantly more complexity in the request, but the agent would be able to prototype something very, very quickly. Still, I would say at this point, you'd need a specialist to go through and validate, sanity check. Is this what I'm trying to do? Is this really what I'm trying to achieve? Is this the right thing? You still have the control to tweak, fine-tune, and refine what the agent has built, but it's there as an accelerator, right? So instead of spending a lot of time clicking through different screens and kind of making decisions, trying to collect things, you can do that all conversationally up front, very prompt-based, build that out, implement a quick prototype, and then build on that as you go forward. So it's a lever, right? It's amplifying the activity of a single person to be able to do a lot more in that kind of in the same time frame. So trying to really improve the productivity of individual specialists, integration specialists, to do more work and less of the trudgy stuff, right? More of the high level thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did I interrupt you, Stuart?
No.
Yeah, so this one slide really summarizes where we are, right? We are both, the combinations of AI, Watson, and integration together really brings AI-powered integration. And with the platform, with the, common platform, common experience, it unifies all flavors from App Connect into API Connect into WebMethod API, etc. And that brings your business from a customer looking at how do I make integration easier, right? The bottlenecks to business these days are, this integration takes too long, isn't it? And oh my God, it's too difficult because I haven't got enough people, right? And then because of that, time is money. It's just become costly.
Yeah.
Right? And then as I'm running it, it's getting a bit brittle because those folks who I'd relied on are no longer there. So what they built in the past hasn't got that business agility anymore, right? And that's what we're trying to bring. So, we've had in the past AI in there. It was effectively a task: do this, do that, and sync this and sync that. So we can do that. But this is where the Unity comes, right? Who can remember this?
Jeopardy. Yeah.
Who can remember this, right? So left-hand side, this is when IBM Deep Blue defeated Kasparov, right? 1997. I remember that. I don't know about you, because I played chess and quietly school chess champion. Shh, don't say that. Right, and then this guy. This is Jeopardy. I never watched Jeopardy. Really, I never kind of understood it.
Very American. Yeah,
it's very American, right? Yeah, and this is when Watson took Jeopardy on and won in 2011, and it wasn't not that long ago, guys, right? But this is heritage, so that's why we bring the combinations of AI with the Watson and the integration together, and we have this this infinite loop. And I like this picture. This tells us, right, two things. You need integration to train AI, because where are you going to get the data from?
All the events, all the
triggers, all the things that you need to train AI. But once you have that, then the AI can then really assist you with everything else, right? Because it's all trained up.
That's a nice slide. It's a nice slide.
Yeah. So go on.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I said, once you and with the Watson AI itself, it's not just any machine, large language model out there. It's actually enterprise class, so you actually ring fence it. Because at the end of the day, right, I guess, your guardrails that you put in place of where AI gets its data from is crucial to the customer. Right? You can't just let any, go and grab anywhere, open up the internet. You've got to have guardrails around that large language model where you start learning from. And that's where, IBM as an enterprise level AI provider does that.
It's not just the large language models, right? It's just the kind of the agentic models and so on that we're building and delivering. If you're building integrations and it's learning from your historic integrations and activities and so on, it's bringing those kind of identifying the patterns of reuse and kind of bringing that into bear, leveraging that. But then if you're building kind of more responsive, agile systems that have AI as the coordinator of activities and so on, again, you're absolutely right. Managing the data as it comes through, the events that are coming through, having guardrails in there to kind of filter out anomalous information, or anomalous events, being able to trap those and then respond to those in a more controlled manner rather than feeding, that whole garbage in, garbage out. If you're generating lots and lots of rubbish data, you're going to get rubbish output at the other end, right? So having the right tooling to be able to manage that, curate that properly to feed into your AI models, that's everything that Watson X delivers as a platform, as an enterprise AI platform. So all of that tooling wrapped in or within the integration portfolio allows us to quickly integrate and deliver new applications, new application models, and deliver new solutions very, very quickly in a very agile way, but based on like a proper foundation of curated data that you're in control of at every stage of the process. So, we don't want systems that hallucinate and make up answers to like business questions. You want the actual answer, right? And so trying to build all of that in, you want to make sure that you're always in control of your data and the processes that come in and out of that. So that's where the API piece comes into that for like the real-time integration.
Okay. And so for customers out there that are thinking about going on the iPaaS journey, what should they be evaluating first before they get in touch with either one of us? Kind of where are the core areas for consideration for moving towards an iPaaS journey?
Sue, you want to take that?
It really stems exactly where your business is heading, right? We don't foresee that every business would just move to the cloud, just like that.
No. Yeah.
No one does that, right? Because there's no value to move exactly to the cloud with all the heritage and, stuff needs to be on premise. And you have that. All businesses, and I've not come across, businesses we say, I've got nothing on premise, is everything in the cloud? No. We see, they always have to be, and it could be compliance. It could be, physically they can't do it. It could be systems that they don't want to, right? And it could be any of those. So we see hybrid. The business model to do anything is really easy, right? Is it going to give you your business agility? Is it going to save you money? Is it going to, increase your business in itself, right? Is there growth in it for you, right? No one does it. No one is, migrating from A to B with no advantage if there's nothing to be gained. So, there's common sense in that, right? And the hybrid integration platform itself, because it gives you this mentality of, I can place a runtime anywhere I like, which is what we call an edge server, what you can call just basically a small execution engine. Two things you can consider. Yes, I can move to a hyperscaler cloud because their infrastructure is probably cheaper than what I can do, and I can put a runtime there. Great. But then in the future, I'm not really locked into them. If there's another hyperscaler that give me a better deal, I can just take that runtime and deploy it there instead.
No, makes sense.
And if I don't like the cloud anymore, and I now have, the leverage and the requirements back down into, my own data center, I'll move it back. I just lift that runtime and run, push it back, right?
So you said flicking that the other way around from a more traditional legacy, expert in the IBM product stack. What should those customers be considering, for this next couple of years in terms of integration, automation, AI?
Good question. I think it's all around, where is it best placed to do the work? Right, where should I host the compute? Where is the kind of the largest critical mass of my data? You want that to be near it, right? Because the further away the compute engine is, away from the data, kind of the longer the logistical lines are, shall we say. So having it close to the data is good. If you've got, depending on the kind of workload, and to come back to a point that Tu made, in a regulated industry, for example, financial services, they'll have some things on the cloud, let's say like business analytics, that kind of thing, because that part of it isn't necessarily regulated in the same way as a payments platform. Right? There's a lot more governance that needs to be applied around a payments platform, and so that may sit on premises or within their data center, or 100% under their control, where they control a complete stack, and they want the integration as close to that as possible. But they may still need to bridge out, and we've done projects like this where they bridge out to cloud. You do the core processing on prem, and then you feed a set of data like through events and so on out to cloud for subsequent analytics. Customer profiling, anti-fraud, that kind of thing, that isn't necessarily as critical as I need to do a payment on this particular scheme, right? Which has more governance and control and compliance associated with it. So I think hybrid is the way forward. Tu's absolutely right. In some scenarios, hosting things on cloud at scale makes a lot more sense, especially when it's, for example, storage related. You've got the backups already there. Everything's already built in place. It's not critical, so that if it goes down or it's unavailable for like an hour or so, it doesn't block the business. But for those things that are absolutely critical, it should be under your control. Again, you'd architect that on-prem and drive that. But the two need to mesh. And again, the hybrid iPaaS and that bridges between the cloud-based, the on-prem based, and kind of all the various variations. And if you're deploying out into satellite instances, those edge instances that may be closer to your customers or embedded within your partners, that kind of thing, you can build all of that with the unified control console, right? So whether it's on-prem or on cloud, you've got the one view of what's happening. You can manage your SLAs and so on from there, and then deal with that from there. So, it's going to be horses for courses, right? Mm-hmm. We'd assess each scenario and use case on its own merits, kind of principally with a view is where is that majority of the data that we're needing to process? Where is it coming from? Are there any controls that need to be applied to this around, this can only be processed within my data center and mustn't bleed out? We've got that kind of capability available, thanks to WebMethods, that we can ring fence data and say that's only going to stay here, or maybe within country, we're not going to allow UK data to be processed outside of the UK. We can manage that on our infrastructure and have those controls and that governance baked in. So it's going to be horses for courses. It's one of those how long's a piece of string questions. Mm-hmm. But I hope I gave a reasonable answer.
No, you definitely did. I think, I'm just looking at our customers' kind of questions they wanted to get covered from this session, and I think you guys have already answered it in terms of whether you're an ACE user, an MQ user, a Sterling user, whatever. You're not being forced to migrate. Your choices are there, your options are available, and your investments are protected because they're going to coexist, and they're going to go on the journey as and when you're ready and as required for the purposes that you're just talking about. I guess, look, other than customers calling Coliance and asking us as their trusted advisors for help and advice and what we can do to help, how else would you like to educate our customers and recommend that they get in touch to learn more?
I'd say the first thing, just have the conversation, reach out. We run a lot of events. There are tech exchange events that IBM runs. Some of these are in partnership with clients. Some of these are in partnership with our partners like yourselves, driving conversations like this, showcasing technology, what's art of the possible, that kind of thing. Let's have the conversation. Let's take that forward. As the first step, I'd say that would be probably my best advice right now. Stay in touch, stay tuned. There is a lot happening. There's a lot of investment happening on this. It's a fast-moving train at the moment. It's bringing together, like our realignment this year, bringing together the integration portfolio under one umbrella, under one management umbrella. And taking that forward, it's really driving this train a lot faster than before. There's going to be more news coming out on a faster cadence of we've delivered this, we've delivered that, here's some new innovation that's coming through, and really showcasing how we're innovating out in the marketplace compared to our competitors.
I guess I'll make a request of you both in terms of, you have access to lots of valuable information, and it would be nice for the participants of this session if we can embed a couple of links, just maybe a PDF on kind of a couple of bits. If you can drop those over to me and we can embed them in the recording for people to have a review of, and obviously get in contact with us or yourselves if they have more questions and more information.
Sure. Yeah.
Anything else from yourself?
You know what? Like Yusuf said, right? Conversations. We run what we call innovation workshops. It's really, opening up what's available. What's your pain at the moment? How can we help? Right? And if we can't help, where we can point you to. So these workshops run, as and when. So when you have a problem, or if you're just curious and want to know more, etc., reach out to us. We'll just arrange. Yeah, we'll just run one and come to the
With a W
Innovation
T.
Centre in London, right?
You the fool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm very conscious of time for
Okay.
our participants to so we don't overrun on them, so they can watch this in their lunch breaks, etc. Thank you very, very much for your time. There will be more of these sessions throughout the remainder of the year. We're going to be doing other sessions with other speakers from across the IBM portfolio, from ACE, MQ, Sterling, etc. Just to keep our customers abreast of kind of what's happening, the choices they have, and listening to the message that you can believe that your investment is protected and that they can coexist as you also consider your journey towards hybrid iPaaS. So, guys, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated by Coliance and all of our customers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you
Bye
again.
for now.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.